What's happening right now with Nicki Minaj has crossed into genuinely disturbing territory. And here's the thing. Mainstream outlets won't touch this because she's become radioactive after publicly challenging the system. But let's be clear. This isn't about politics, left or right. What we're looking at appears to be a coordinated campaign by Jay-Z and his Rock Nation machinery to silence her before she can expose what they're hiding financially and otherwise. Over the years, Nicki's faced multiple swatting incidents where armed officers arrived at her door. They've even weaponized CPS, making false claims about how she parents her son. And we can't forget her father's death in 2021, a hit and run in Long Island that somehow resulted in just 1 year of prison time for the driver. 1 year. For killing an elderly man and abandoning him without help. You don't need to be a Nicki devotee to recognize the pattern here. It's undeniable when you zoom out. And Katt Williams has been screaming this truth for years. In entertainment, there's no such thing as random. Everything's orchestrated. Everything connects back to someone wielding power from the shadows.
In all of these situations, it's only the artist that's losing. Somebody makes big money. When these rappers get killed, not that everything that happens in a business that's based off of pretend that seems like a setup is. In business, nothing is coincidental, or you will be hearing who's losing money. In all of these situations, it's only the artist that's losing. Somebody makes big money. When these rappers get killed, not incidental. Somebody made $100 million and now don't have to talk to that artist or none of their crew, don't have to validate none of their contracts. Now only got to deal with the mama, only got to see her once a year, and it's over. And the money goes up and up and up. So they killed this $20 million guy, but they reaped $60 million in benefits.
Wow.
And they had some people from your...
Because Katt and Nicki share common ground on something crucial: the impact of Hollywood's push around gender transition for minors. Nicki's been outspoken about the dangers of surgical intervention before young people even develop fully. And celebrities seem to be progressively claiming their children are transgender younger and younger. What Katt adds to this conversation is darker. He suggests this isn't accidental, but rather a deliberate operation tied to sacrifice and ritual. Meanwhile, Katt's experienced his own hell. Multiple arrests on questionable charges, yet somehow never conviction. Attempts to strip him of custody of his children. And like Nicki, he's been consistently labeled unstable, unhinged, addicted, anything to discredit him when he speaks truth. So naturally, these two recognize themselves in each other's struggle, even where their politics might diverge. Fast forward to April 1st. A man named Leland Adams gets arrested on Nicki's Calabasas property. This wasn't someone lingering near the gate or innocently passing through. Security footage showed him actually inside the grounds, moving through her yard deliberately. When security ordered him to leave, he refused. They physically detained him until sheriffs arrived. And here's the part that doesn't sit right. This happened the exact day her new album was supposed to drop. But it gets stranger. The sheriff's department revealed Adams wasn't new to that neighborhood. 5 days prior, he'd already been arrested in Calabasas, and they let him go. Then immediately after his release, he shows up again trespassing on Nicki's property. This is simply the latest incident in what Nicki describes as a relentless campaign targeting her at home. She traces it back to Rock Nation and a massive financial dispute. According to her claims, Jay-Z owes her between $100 and $200 million from the original title arrangement. Ever since she started publicly exposing Rock Nation's questionable money moves, the targeting has intensified, both professionally and where she lives. Back in June 2023, someone phoned CPS with allegations that Nicki was abusing her son. Police descended on her home while she had her child inside. Imagine that terror. Weeks later, another 911 call came in reporting an active shooting at her residence. Again, cops showed up, weapons drawn, while she was home with her child. Then, in April 2025, it happened again. This time, the caller contacted the sheriff directly, claiming a black woman was trespassing on the property. 20 armed officers surrounded her house with guns pointed while she sheltered her toddler indoors. Afterward, Nicki posted about it on X and directly named Desiree Perez, Jay-Z's right hand at Rock Nation. Desiree's background is worth examining closely. She's apparently intimidating enough that most rappers avoid mentioning her at all. Dame Dash is one of the rare ones willing to say her name publicly. When he appeared on Sway in the Morning, Dame exposed something crucial. Jay-Z had recruited a federal informant to lead his company. That revelation made everything click into place for Dame. It explained how Jay operates and why so many of his associates, including Rockefeller co-founder Kareem Biggs Burke, ended up entangled with federal investigators.
One time that the paper did scare me, and I was like, there has to be some truth to it, is when I read about his affiliation with, informants, that he's in business with certain people. I know Biggs is in jail. I know Irv Gotti's been harassed for years over shit didn't do. I know they've been fucking with me for years.
Here's what happened with Desiree's past. In 1994, she was arrested holding 35 kilos and conspiracy charges tied to distribution networks spanning New York to Florida to Puerto Rico, according to court documents the New York Daily News obtained. She wasn't operating solo either. Her husband Juan O.G. Perez was right there with her. Juan was already connected to Jay-Z from back in the mid-90s when they co-founded the 40/40 Club together. Eventually, Jay brought Juan into Roc Nation Sports as president. So what happened to Desiree after getting caught with all those drugs? 5 years probation. Why? Because she cooperated with federal authorities. She became an informant. She wore a wire. She helped bring down her own conspirators. The government actually called her their star witness. Jump to 2021 and Trump grants her a full pardon. Nicki seized on this discrepancy, pointing out how people vilify her while Jay-Z operates with this exact same infrastructure, just quieter about it. In July 2025, Nicki wrote on X, "Let me understand this correctly. Your supposed black hero Jay-Z employs a Hispanic CEO who received a Trump pardon. That's fascinating. Does that make Desiree a Democrat? You claim you despise Trump supporters, yet here we are. Did Jay-Z campaign for Harris? Or is he simply above that when it doesn't benefit him and Desiree directly? Black community seems like the establishment played you once more." But Nicki went further. She explicitly connected Desiree Perez and Roc Nation to those swatting campaigns, arguing they want her discredited and dismissed as unstable so nobody believes her claims about the money they owe her. So you've got both Nicki and Katt labeled insane whenever they expose industry mechanics. Both targeted repeatedly through police involvement. Both falsely accused of crimes. Both silenced through character assassination. Connect the dots however you want, but understand this. When power and money are the only religion, people will do anything to protect those assets. Tell me what you think down below and subscribe for the full breakdown coming next.
Hello, morning here. I have subscribed to the channel. It's a huge request to all of you. My video subscribe and my channel's name like icon and it's a very good